A chaotic period also breeds opportunity. And I think we have an opportunity now to make our profession more valuable by calling it something that sounds more valuable, but also is an apt way to describe it because of the things that we are trying to reach and not the way we do it. So that is basically my thing. For myself, I use findability and discoverability. In the end, value is a definition. Most people would say, okay, it's revenue, and if SEO helps with revenue, that is the value of SEO. That is the default definition, I would say. And basically, it's clicks times CPC, stating that these are the costs you didn't have to make in ads because of SEO. Another value metric that I think will become bigger in the coming years is market share. And you can use this SEO opportunity cost as the metric to calculate the market share. So see, okay, how big is the pie? How big is the value of the opportunity cost in the market? And how big is your share in that? I think the value of being visible is something we should accommodate for as well. And we could use CPC prices for that.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Search with Candour. This is the podcast where I interview the best and brightest minds in SEO and digital marketing. I am your host, Jack Chambers-Ward, and we are halfway through the year, folks. Episode 26. We're getting towards the end of 2025, and like I said, I have predicted we will have AI mode in the UK by the end of the year. Hold me accountable to that prediction, because I don't think it's that crazy. I don't think it's that bold. Anyway, moving on to this week's topic and this week's guest. It is the one and only Ramon Eijkemans, and I'm talking with Ramon all about how to calculate the value of SEO traffic, of organic traffic in general, and also whether SEO needs a little bit of rebranding, because this is a topic Ramon has brought up quite a few times in our Tuesday chats. We have a thing called BS Time, a spin-off of Shooting the Poop from the SEO community created by Noah Lerner, and basically Robin Allenson, Arnett Hellmans and myself host a Clubhouse chat that's an audio-only group chat every Tuesday evening, and Ramon is one of our most regular participants and speakers in that group, and I've gotten to know Ramon over the last few months or so since we've been hosting that show. So yeah, I've got to know Ramon really, really well. He's a really interesting guy who has some fascinating theories and ideas about SEO and some brilliant advice on how to calculate traffic value and how to communicate that to your clients and stakeholders as well. So coming up, a very interesting conversation with Ramon. But before I get to that, of course, please do like the video. Please do review us on Spotify, subscribe on YouTube, give us a follow on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and all that good stuff. I would hugely appreciate any comments, any engagement, all that kind of stuff. Let me know how you calculate the value of your organic traffic and what you think we should call SEO now that we have so much AI and LLM stuff and the landscape of search is shifting. Do we need to rebrand? Do we need to stick with just SEO? Do we need a new acronym? Or, here's a little tease for the conversation with Ramon and I in a moment, do we need another word for it? Discoverability, findability, optimizing, something. Let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts and your ideas for which acronym or which phrase we should be using for this industry in the future. If you do want to go and support and check out all that kind of stuff as well as liking and subscribing, I am having a cage fight, and I'm not making this up, an MMA fight in November for charity, and it's a real thing. It's happening in November, 21st of November 2025, and you can go and donate to my page. There's a Just Giving page. I'll put the link in the show notes. You can go and check that out. It's totally real. I have lost nearly 12 kilos since April, and yeah, I'm getting there. Basically, I'm getting fitter. I'm starting my proper training next week, and it's starting to feel real, starting to feel real. I will be 35 by the time that fight happens, and it feels quite scary that this is a thing that is going to happen. So I would hugely appreciate your support. I'm also going to be doing basically like parody wrestling promo videos, which is, I know, is the most me thing in the history of the world. If you want to go and check those out, you can go and follow me on social media and all that good stuff as well. And yeah, without any further ado, no ads this week. Go and check out the one and only Ramon Eijkemans and my conversation with him coming up now. My My guest this week has over 20 years of experience in search marketing, including in-house, running his own agency, and freelancing. He's spoken at conferences around Europe and is the owner of Eichmanns, a boutique SEO automation workshop and consultancy based in Nijmegen. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, in the Netherlands. And he is a certified sci-fi and schnitzel enthusiast. Welcome to the show, Ramon Eijkemans.
Certified sci-fi enthusiast. Let's talk about that.
That would be the whole podcast, mate. I know you and I could talk about Blade Runner for an hour very easily.
Yeah, easily. Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're not here to just talk about Blade Runner. Maybe we'll touch on it a little bit. I'm sure it'll come up with some AI.
I have a story about it, so if we have time.
There we go. There we go. We'll get to it. There's a promise, listeners. If you're a Blade Runner fan, we'll make sure we squeeze in Ramon's Blade Runner story.
It's a nice story.
Talk about.
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's good to know. It's a positive story, at least.
Yeah, that too. It has to do with SEO. There is a relationship.
Hey, there we go. I mean,
I won't say anymore.
we'll save it at the end. We'll save it at the end. And it's funny enough, you and I have been chatting basically every week for the last year or so, I think it is now. We're going for a long time, thanks to BS Time, which is the SEO community's Tuesday hangout that Arnout, Robin, and I run basically every Tuesday. I know you are maybe our most regular co-host, co-speaker,
Kinda.
I think, pretty much. It's been really nice to chat and catch up every Tuesday. And now we're chatting on a Tuesday morning as well.
Yeah, I'll see you this evening.
I know,
Talk
right?
to you this evening. It's audio only. Yeah.
It's nice to see your face and actually talk as well. And we actually met in Brighton very briefly as well. I know I'm still editing a lot of videos from Brighton and things like that, and kind of touches on the topic we're going to cover in this episode. We're going to talk about SEO opportunity cost and maybe a bit of rebranding that SEO needs as well, which I know is something you're very passionate about.
Yeah.
Should we kind of start with the SEO opportunity cost things? I think that is going to be very relevant to what a lot of people are experiencing at the moment, with how much the search industry is shifting, how much the SERPs are changing seemingly every couple of months, it feels like. I think people are struggling to define the value for SEO these days, right? I think a lot of people are seeing a lot of drop off in clicks, like I said, a lot of change in SERPs. So from your experience, Ramon, how should we go about calculating the value of organic traffic? Where do we start with that?
Yeah. Well, the value, in the end, value is a definition. So most people would say, okay, it's revenue, and if SEO helps with revenue, that is the value of SEO. That is the default definition, I would say. Also a bit problematic, but we'll get to that. But there are other definitions that you could use as well. For example, SEO opportunity cost, which is something I was inspired by Ahrefs. They have this organic value metric, and I was looking into it. So how do they calculate this? And they said, well, basically it's clicks times CPC, stating that these are the costs you didn't have to make in ads because of SEO. So it's not revenue, but it's costs that you have saved basically because of SEO, and that is our value. It is our value. I would say that it is market value because CPCs are the prices that the market pays for a keyword, not necessarily the ones that you pay, depending on your quality score and stuff like that. But I think it's a good way to measure value. Another value metric that I think will become bigger in the coming years is market share, and you can use this SEO opportunity cost as the metric to calculate the market share. So see, okay, how big is the pie? How big is the value of the opportunity cost in the market, and how big is your share in that? Which is a really good way to compare it to benchmark it against your competitors, because well, it's the market price. So on average, everybody pays that price, is willing to pay that price even. So the opportunity cost, SEO opportunity cost, it does have some advantages when you compare it to calculating revenue. I think it should be a complementary metric. And I think it's a metric and not a KPI. So revenue is a KPI. If the revenue is down, it's bad for business. If SEO opportunity cost goes down, well, it's not necessarily bad for business. So it is something you can use to decide, okay, where would we put budget? For a classic example would be to compare branded search versus non-branded search and say, okay, if SEO is really strong in branded search, maybe we shouldn't pay so much in ads for branded search. There's still a lot of companies that do that. So but in the same thought process, you could look at other topics maybe, or branded topics. So branded in combination with a topic. So in this topic, we are strong and branded, so we don't need to use ads there a lot. There are different things you can do with that. I think that is maybe the most interesting one. Another thing is that, I don't know about you, but in my experience, it has always been quite difficult to connect SEO to revenue. It's indirect. It's the data is well, spotty. And you always, especially in larger companies, well, not even necessarily larger companies. I think any company, you need someone else to do it for you. And those people, those business analysts and stuff like that, they have things to do. They have other things to do. You're in a big line, in a big queue, waiting for it. And maybe you don't know exactly how you want it, or things change. And opportunity cost is really easy to calculate. So it's CPC times clicks. That's it, basically. And there are a lot of refinements you could and should make, but the basic idea is clicks times CPC. That is something you can do yourself. So you don't need someone else to do it for you. And that, well, that makes things easier, faster, doable. But also, if you can use it to choose, okay, which topic are we going to focus on? It is I'm not the only one who calls it like that, but it's an input metric. It's something you can steer on, and it's not necessarily the same as an output metric, which would be revenue. Yeah, so that is the basic idea. SEO opportunity cost is the cost you did not have to make in ads because of SEO. And I think the main value is choosing between strategies or topics or something like that, and benchmarking against competitors.
Yeah,
That's it in a nutshell.
I think the benchmarking is a key thing, right? Because I feel like we all talk about so much, Google's share of search, or a particular company's brand of taking up a particular market share. And for me, when it comes to the kind of the buzzword of the year, it seems like brand is all everyone's talking about in SEO this year, it feels like. And I think it's a very relevant conversation to have when you can actually put numbers behind it. Like you said, we can actually get data. And as difficult as it can be when it comes to, let alone attribution through things like GA4 and actually trying to understand, I'm just leaving GA4 to use its blended attribution model, and I don't actually know how it's doing what and where. I was like, I guess I'll just leave it up to the systems, the machine learning powers of GA4 to determine whether that was a PPC click or an organic click or a direct click or a referral click or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I find that stuff so interesting when you can get out of the attribution side of things and kind of focus on, like you said, the market value and the market share, and look at the bigger picture. I think that's a really good way to communicate that stuff to clients. I was literally having a conversation with a client the other day using the data from Ahrefs as an exact example of, this is how you benchmark against other competitors. They have the little like circle graphs of like the size of the circle is roughly the size of the site, and then the position of the value of your organic traffic versus the organic traffic in the kind of little graph. For viewers, I'll put a graph on the screen to demonstrate this, but I'm drawing it with my hands very badly.
Yeah. Something like that.
And I think that kind of graph is not intuitive to most people straight away. We're so used to the kind of line graph or bar chart or whatever, right? But actually, once you get your head around it, I think being able to measure yourself against competitors in terms of, for want of a better phrase, the quality of the traffic, the value of the traffic, rather than
That's it,
we've
basically.
got 1 million visitors compared to your 10,000, but actually they're probably getting a higher intent of search. They're probably getting better quality organic search than we are. It's not just about the raw clicks anymore. And I think, this is a discussion the industry has been having for a while now, moving away from just raw search volume and traffic numbers and stuff like that, and reframing it and thinking about things like intent and the actual process and the actual psychology behind somebody clicking, right?
Yeah. There are a lot of angles here because, for instance, the first time I used this was, I used the graph by Ahrefs, and I worked for a car marketplace at the time, and I used it to compare their value against a competitor. And then someone in the board said, "Yeah, but that competitor sells caravans, and we don't do that." And I was like, "Yeah, you're right." So it is. If you use the Ahrefs metric, you need to be absolutely sure that you're comparing the right things with each other. So and that is a difficult thing to do. So to be able to do that, you need to go really deep and do this on the keyword level, then cluster those keyword levels, see which clusters your competitor has as well, and then compare those. So it's a bottom-up approach and not a top-down approach like Ahrefs does. I think that is the right way, and then you also have things like country and temporality. For instance, it makes a big difference if you do this in January or December, and so on. But these are refinements to use. But in the end, if you get this right, you have this nice graph that says, okay, this is your value in this point in time, and your competitor is this. And your competitor is going that way, and you are going that way. That's not good, or the other way around. And that is something you can really report on. But that is still based on clicks and the value of those clicks. And I think that we're now at a point that we're thinking about, okay, but AI overviews are here. We're not getting any clicks anymore. That has to be seen if we're not getting any clicks. Wait and see. Yeah, it will go down for sure. But where and how much? Okay, that is a different thing. But and is that necessarily bad? But I think the value of being visible is something we should accommodate for as well, and we could use CPC prices for that. So there is this old if you buy media stock inventory, you use a CPM model, and it's like it's a click price divided by 1,000 or something like that.
Yeah, it's usually cost per 1,000. It's true in podcast advertising as well, which I obviously deal with a lot.
Yeah, and it's not so weird to say, okay, those chat interfaces in Google are like media inventory as well. You are seen, we are mentioned in it. It does have some value. How to calculate that? I don't have the answer yet, to be honest, but I'm working on it. A way to look at the value of impressions, basically. So you have clicks, you have impressions, and then say, okay, for that keyword, we have a CPC. So the CPC is like a guiding pricing thing for that keyword. That keyword is a part of a cluster of keywords. You have an average CPC of those clusters of keywords. So you can also say it for other keywords. But the difficult thing is to try to answer the question, okay, but has someone actually seen you in the SERP? That is the biggest issue here. And for that, you need to, well, of course, scrape the SERPs and try to calculate, okay, how big is how high is the chance, how big is the chance that someone has actually seen your brand in an AI overview or in a result or in a component or maybe multiple places. And what is the value of that? That is the different. That isn't solved yet, but I think we should solve it. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. The value of impressions is such an interesting, like you said, difficult thing to calculate, and it dates back to the foundation of marketing, right? That, like you
Yeah.
said, that also applies to radio ads, TV ads, newspapers, billboards, planes in the sky, writing it in cloud formation, like all that kind of stuff. Like, how many people actually saw that thing? And I know I've quoted this many times on the show before, the very outdated number. There's like supposed to be, you see a brand 9 times before you buy it. I think it's closer to like 17 or 18. It's now doubled because
Yeah.
of the sheer amount of stuff we see
Yeah.
every day. You know, just on your phone, you will see the same brand 15 times, let alone compared to what we were doing 50, 60, 100 years ago,
Yeah.
pre-internet
And
days, where you
there's
might see it on
a.
a bus stop on a
Oh,
billboard.
sorry, I interrupted you. Please go on.
No,
Yeah.
please.
Oh yeah. We had a discussion about exactly this the other week, I think, in the BS time chat. Um, it's not just the amount of times that you need to be seen. I think it was Renee Bigelow who was talking about this, and she said, well, it's between 20 and 40 times, but also in 3 to 5 different ways. So it's not just the classic blue links. It's multi-channel. You need to be multi-channel, otherwise it simply won't work.
Yeah, and I think that's even more relevant when we're thinking about AI chatbot stuff, right? When you're thinking about ChatGPT, Perplexity, DeepSeek, Gemini, all this kind of things, then coming into AI overviews and how that restructures organic results.
Yeah.
What now is the value of a position 1, position 2? I know there was a recent study from, hate the company, Mail Online, boo the Mail, but they're a huge publisher and huge news site here in the UK. I think it was they're the 8th largest English language news site in the world, and they had seen, we are still ranking number 1, but our clicks have dropped off by over 56% because of the introduction of AI views and the introduction of, why would they click through if they get the summation and the summary in the initial, viewport, in the initial scroll, right, in the, above the fold? So when that comes to, if I see something on Instagram and then I see it again on an AI overview and then I see it again in another place, like you said, that multi-channel approach, I think Renee is definitely onto something there. For me, maybe it's us being, marketing nerds, digital marketing nerds, and being aware of it. I'm then aware of, like, oh, they clearly have a multi-channel strategy. Like, I'm thinking about it in the marketing-y way, but that also works for non-marketing people. There's still that psychological inherent reaction to, oh, this is the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 30th time I've seen this company.
Yeah. I
Clearly,
should
they must
probably pay
be doing
attention. Yeah.
something. They must be saying something, right? It must be relevant to me in some way, because why else would it be serving up these results?
Yeah. It's that. So we need to force it, force feed it. We need to force feed our customers to people who are searching. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Yeah, but
Exactly. Yeah.
that is the way to. I think that is the modern way to do SEO in the coming years. But we also need to be able to measure it and show the value of it. And it's weird in some way. I was at the time I was working for that car marketplace, and I talked about it with someone who worked for Shell. And he said, well, in the oil business, we use this way to compare a lot. He called it Brent oil. I have no idea what it means. I didn't look it up. But he said every company has this different size of barrels. So they use another metric to compare the amount of stuff that is sold or something like that. But it also
Right.
depends on what type of oil. And well, okay, I believe him. But he said, yeah, it's a valid way to compare, especially when you're benchmarking, and in a market where that is the only way. Of course, the competitors are not saying to their other competitors, okay, this is our revenue. They are not telling that. So if you want to compare it, you need something else. And market pricing is something that all of them do in the same way. So yeah, it's a solid way to do this, and I think it's become, well, I'm positive that it will become more important in the next few
Yeah.
years.
Definitely. And I think the zero-click side of things almost like changes the value of being in position one, right? Like we've seen so
Yeah.
many studies over the years of what is the average click-through rate for each position for a particular kind of keyword, based on intent, based on category, and all that kind of stuff. Like, oh, if you're typically searching for transactional stuff, you want to be in the first 3 positions, or there is basically no point being anywhere else. You will get no
Mhm.
clicks whatsoever. And there's always been some kind of weird ones I found interesting where the top of page 2 is almost better than the bottom of page 1 because of the
Mhm.
certain way that people scroll and like, oh, it's still at the top of the page, so you're more likely to click on it just from that
Yeah.
initial load and the initial fold. But the advent of AI overviews and the way more and more SERP features are being introduced, whether that's knowledge graphs or map packs and all this kind of stuff, that has, to me, that has changed the value of that position one, because a lot of
Yeah.
the time it's not even in that initial load. It's not even above the fold. You get ads and an AI overview and then some other SERP features, and then position one, you have to scroll down to get it. Whereas 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, position one, even before featured snippets, 10 years ago, you were, bang on the money. You were exactly where you wanted to be.
Yeah,
So
it
do
was
you
way
think that
easier
has
back
kind
then.
of, yeah, exactly, right? Do you think that has kind of shifted the value of organic search in that way? Do you think people are seeing it as less valuable because things are getting clicked on less, and things are seemingly kind of shifting the traditional search as we reframe it? Or is it up to us to then reframe ourselves to say, well, yeah, we do SEO, we do organic search, and that is evolving in this way?
Mhm. Uh, that is a difficult question. The f 2 questions. The first one, is the value of SEO, has it been diminished? In general, I would say no, because people still search. Uh, uh, and if we believe Google, even more. If Google,
Very,
which
very
is
big quotation marks there. Like, more
another
clicks than
discussion
ever.
altogether.
Yeah, sure, Google.
um,
People
so
love AI
let's say,
overviews. You all love them, right? You're all clicking on them so much. Everyone
yeah,
loves them.
yeah, we
Don't
love
worry.
them. We trust everything they say. Yeah. Yeah, so I think in general, yeah, as long as people search, there's probably going to be value in it. People search for stuff, people buy stuff, they want things. I think the ad business is going quite well in search. So, yeah, and SEO is needed. It has a place in that. So, yeah, I'm not worried about that, to be honest. But it's also a matter of how we sell ourselves and what it is that we bring to this, sorry, to the table. And if we still say, yeah, it's about clicks, we deliver clicks, and it's a channel that has a good ROI historically, together with email. That is the old story. SEO and email have the best ROI. It's owned media. Um, yeah, that probably still holds true, by the way, I think, because the ROI, historically, the ROI of SEO has been really good, and it's probably still is, but compared to other channels. But yeah, it has become more difficult. It has become more expensive. But like I said, there are different ways to express value, and it's not just clicks. If, for example, I had a call with a new client yesterday, and it's a client that that really wants to be visible in language models. It is also their business be to do things with AI and data and stuff like that. So they are all in the new way to do this. And I was talking with, especially with the sales people, the account managers and sales people, and saying, okay, so the role of search has changed. In your case, I think your prospects would like to see you being mentioned in language models. And the thing is that we're probably going to see that the old content funnel has been turned upside down. So you had a big, wide funnel at the top for informational stuff. So you would have created a lot of information about things to gain authority and to bring in traffic, and then guide those people towards your funnel, to the bottom of your funnel, to your product pages. And now it's going to be turned upside down. So the whole informational stuff, the maybe even the comparison stuff, so the top of funnel, middle of funnel conversations, they are prepped basically in chatbots. But the people that will come to your site, they are well informed. They are ready to buy. So they're probably more valuable per visitor than the ones that don't know anything yet, and you still have to explain what it is you do actually. So if we design this landscape and say, okay, this is the playing field and this is our strategy, then it means that we have to concentrate on bottom of funnel content, for example, and make sure that that is used as a source to answer the top of funnel questions. Yeah, that is an example. And now I lost where we were. Where were we?
No, yeah, that's a really interesting way of, because I think, like, to be honest, the straightforward funnel is kind of outdated at this point, right? I feel like it's never been, it hasn't been as simple as that for a very long time. I think, like we said, the example from Renee saying it's 20 to 40 times. I know I am totally the kind of person that will research the hell out of something. And I will find various different searches and find various different things and do all the comparisons and watch YouTube videos and listen to podcasts and all kinds of stuff. That multi-channel approach we were talking about earlier, right? And when it comes to the fact that obviously AI overviews are far more present, I think it's like nearly 80% of informational searches now garner an AI overview compared to the more product-led stuff. But then on the other side of that, if you're still talking about LLMs, you have ChatGPT introducing the product comparison stuff, and they're partnering with Shopify and all this kind of stuff, right? There's almost that push and pull, it seems, between transactional stuff that ChatGPT and the LLMs are pushing, and then Google with its AI overviews very much focusing on the informational side of things. And I love your theory about how us as consumers are getting more educated in the things that we're buying, because it's easier than ever to access that information, right? When you were researching a product 100 years ago, you'd have to go to a library or ask somebody in person, go to the actual physical shop, get on your horse and carriage and go down the road and speak to the shopkeeper or whatever.
Go to the physical shop and ask the salesperson, and that is now being answered by the language model. So to feed that language model, we have to put in the stuff that is the questions that are asked in those sales processes, the physical ones.
Yeah, definitely. That's a big conversation I had with Kobe Ominaka a couple of weeks ago, was like the speak to your customers approach to finding keywords and questions and stuff, right? And again, I know we've talked about this on BS time before as well. Getting that alternative route to the kind of questions and keywords, rather than just finding whatever the Ahrefs or SEMrush or Google Keyword Planner or whatever, finding what kind of questions you're finding on keyword tools, having conversations with humans. And again, that comes back around to another big conversation of the conversational evolution of search that we're kind of seeing at the moment when it comes to LLMs. I don't know about you, Ramon, but I've not really shifted the way I Google things, but the way I use Gemini, ChatGPT, Perplexity, all that kind of stuff is far more conversational and almost like question based. Whereas with Google, I tend to just do statements of like, best company to do this, rather than what is the best company to do this. Do you think that kind of shifts the way we think about that funnel side of things? I know this is a whole other conversation now, but the way we reframe almost like informational content and the conversational nature of search. I don't want to say this is finally voice search's time to shine, because we've been saying that for 15 bloody years at this point, but it feels like a shift to me, like especially speaking to younger people who are like so natural to the internet and just kind of grew up with that stuff. People just going to ChatGPT or whatever, an LLM first, rather than even going to Google. Have you seen that from your experience, like talking to clients, talking to younger people? Has there been that kind of conversational shift, and how that affects the
we
way
see
we
it
do
everywhere, right?
Yeah.
We see it with the people around us. Of course, we are probably early adopters here,
I like to
but
think so.
that would mean that we can look at ourselves, at our own behavior, but we see it around us as well, of course. I'm quite active on LinkedIn these days. I see a lot of, well, bullshit going around, but also screenshots of people. One thing that really struck me was someone who was at a doctor, and the doctor was asking ChatGPT
Oh
about a medical
God.
condition. And I was like, oh wow. But um, if I look at if I look at my own behavior and try to analyze what it is that I'm doing, when Rand Fishkin did this study about the way that people really use Google and say, okay, it's a lot of it is branded and navigational, and I was like, yeah, that's actually what I do too. I just didn't realize it. But I code a lot, so I use I use Mistral mostly, sometimes ChatGPT to assist in coding, and I use it a lot, all day long, and it has replaced Stack Overflow for me. But I was always searching in Google, and I used Google as a search engine to search within Stack Overflow to find the answer that I wanted, because, well, Google is a good, it used to be a good search engine. And you could use site to double point and then the site and then whatever it is you're searching. That was a basic, I had this CAPTCHA all the time because Google said, this is suspicious. Yeah. But has that changed? Yeah, that has changed for sure. I don't use Google that much anymore. And I think they need to be there with AI overviews, and because it's convenient, and I'll have convenience over not being right 98% of the time or 60% of the time. Hey, if it sounds good enough, it's the fast brain. Good enough, good enough.
Is it good enough?
Yeah, and they, well, they know it, but yeah, I'm convinced that this is going to change and that we're just the first ones. And yeah, I saw a talk by a Dutch SEO named Eduard Plaquere some time ago, a few weeks ago, and he had a really nice way of explaining it. He said there is this evolution in search going on, and there are some steps in it. So he had a timeline, and he said, okay, that was this update, and it was about links, and this update it was about content. This update was about speed. This update was about intent, and he was going forward in time, and with every era, he said, okay, the bar got higher, and it didn't mean that the things we did before are not important anymore. For instance, the old SEO was about tech and PageRank sculpting and stuff like that. That is still important, but other things, it's become relatively less important because other things were added to it. And we're now in a new era. We landed in a new era, and I don't really remember exactly what he said about this era. But the thing is, all those things that we did before are still important. There are levels. And the technical level, for instance, where many of us come from, it's still important, but it's kind of like basic hygiene these days. And it really depends on the site if it's if it should be the focus of your SEO strategy. To be fair, I did do quite a big campaign last year, and it was purely focused on technical SEO because we thought that that was where most the best result was to be had. And yeah, it worked, by the way. But that was really a discussion. Okay, are we going to focus on tech? Are we going to focus on authority or on intent, stuff like that. No, hygiene. But that is so it's still important, but it has all become more, well, nuanced, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. And I think with this increased use of, like you said, a lot of people like yourself are not really using traditional search engines anymore. This comes around to our second topic, which I know we've talked about before, the reframing that a lot of people are trying to do. I know, again, speaking of LinkedIn bullshit, there's plenty of GEO specialists and AIO, AEO, and all these various bloody acronyms that are slight variations of answer engine optimization or
Yeah,
generative engine
WTFO.
optimization. Exactly right. Yeah. The evolution of SEO means we need to change the 3 letters that we define ourselves by. But to me, like you said, a lot of the best practices and all the fundamentals and basics still apply to all of this stuff anyway. And it's not just write good content, make helpful content. That's not helpful. But the fundamentals of, like you said, a technical foundation, actually writing things that people give a shit about and that people want to read about, all this kind of stuff that is the fundamentals of so much of search marketing for the last 20 years. I think it's still true now in many ways. So, do we need to think about a redefinition, a GEO,
Yes.
an SXO, all that kind of stuff?
You already knew my answer to that. Yes, definitely.
I led you there a little bit, mate.
I do know this discussion, and I changed my mind, I think 6 months ago about this. I was one of the people that said, yeah, it's still SEO because it's still based on search technology. And the old, like you said, many of the old things, maybe most of the things that we do still apply. And I agree with that. If it's about acronyms, I would say SEO is a fine acronym as far as acronyms go. And that is actually the thing. I did change my mind because I think SEO wasn't a good acronym or a good name to begin with. We're not optimizing search engines, for starters.
That's a good point. Yeah.
But what is it exactly that we do? What is it? Why are people hiring us? Are they hiring us to optimize a search engine? No, they are hiring us to get some kind of result in a channel. And the channel is where people search. So that is most of the time is at Google, but now is diversifying quite a bit. But it's still search. But search itself has become more nuanced as well. It was an active act. Someone was typing in a keyword, and that is a conscious, active search act. And but especially if you work in news, Discover is the biggest traffic driver, and Discover is passive. It's your behavior on which technology says, "Oh, well, you seem to respond to this, so I'll show you that." And I would say that is search as well. The search and the SERPs have been changed a lot as well. There are all kinds of components and sub search engines and well, let's not get into it, but it has been diversified. So the profession itself has become more elaborate, but it's still we are still hired because we need to reach goals for the people that hire us. And at some point, I changed my mind because I thought, yeah, it's not about the things, it's not about how we do it or in which channel we do this, but it's about the results that we are hired to obtain, to achieve. It's about those results. It should be goal-oriented and not means-oriented. And I was thinking about that. So, okay, things are changing right now. Are they changing enough to make it a whole different profession? No. But I do think we have an opportunity now to rebrand ourselves and say, okay, we come from a kind of nerdy background. We used to be webmasters that did stuff with meta keywords and stuff like that. And after that, we did PageRank sculpting. I really like PageRank sculpting, by the way. I'm old-fashioned, but yeah, that is but there's another topic. But it's not like that anymore. Especially if we're optimizing if we're doing more PR kind of stuff, being mentioned in a positive way. I saw a case by Siege Media, Ross Siege Media, and they showed that negative sentiment is, well, it's not like that anymore, that all PR is good PR, or there's no such thing as bad publicity. Yeah, bad publicity is a negative thing. So we are telling the story of our clients, making sure that they are mentioned in the right way, in the correct way, which is a thing in LLMs. And that is what we do. And that is how we do that. Yeah, well, it depends.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah, but so we are in a chaotic period, and a chaotic period also breeds opportunity. And I think we have an opportunity now to make our profession more valuable by calling it something that sounds more valuable, but also is an apt way to describe it because of the things that we are trying to reach, and not the way we do it. So that is basically my thing. So for myself on LinkedIn, I use findability and discoverability. I think those are, well, fine candidates for now. I don't know anything better yet. In the past, people would use Growth Advisor, for example, which is goal-oriented as well. I like that too. But I don't like those acronyms. GEO, IO, what the fucko. That's just the same thing. Yeah, no.
People love an acronym to put on their resume and stuff, right? They just want a cool new 3-letter thing. I see so many people who put, like, I'm going back, we're talking shit about LinkedIn still, but like, so many people put their like degree qualifications and stuff. I was like, BSc, MDIM, QIXT, UVW. I'm like, I don't know what any of that shit means. That doesn't mean anything to me. Like, why would I care? Oh, you're a chartered marketer, or you've got a bachelor in science or whatever. Like, cool, okay, whatever.
Yeah, that's
you're
fine.
an SEO guru or a ninja or whatever. Like,
yeah, I actually never used that. And some time ago, just for fun and kicks, I said findability engineer. And someone said, no, you cannot do that because it's a title. I have a title. I just never use it. Yeah. So
and
I
we're
always
acting
think,
like
okay,
titles
people
aren't
that
just
say that,
made
do
up
they
anyway,
really have
right?
those titles?
Yeah, exactly. As if like the SEO job title isn't just completely made up. Like I was talking to Nick Leroy a few episodes ago, where it's like some companies, if you lead an account in an agency, you're an SEO manager. You don't actually manage anybody, you're managing the client accounts. Whereas some others have it as SEO executive. I remember having a conversation with my wife years and years ago. What do you think an SEO executive is? And she was like, well, that's like a CEO of SEO, right? I was like, no, that's the entry level job in some companies. Like, why are they called an executive then? What are they executiving? Like, I don't know. There's no consistency. Some people are ninjas, some people are gurus, some people are wizards, like some people are engineers, all this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's all made up.
For sure. I used to say many years, I just call myself SEO specialist.
Yeah. Same.
And not anymore. Yeah. I do know it's a nice discussion. I think I'm curious about, there are some quite vocal SEOs who are quite experienced in the business, say, okay, it's all basically still SEO because of the way we do things, etc., etc. And if some of them I talk with, and if I talk to them about this, they say, yeah, but it's still SEO because you use these means. I said, yeah, but that is not the point. The point is that we shouldn't use means at all. But they keep coming back to that, and I'm curious about the discussion. Okay, should we talk about the way we do things at all? I don't think a lot of professions. I'm not so sure. Maybe we should researchers or look up a researcher. How many professions are defined by the way they do it? A doctor is a doctor, and
I guess you can specialize in medical stuff. Like you can be a urologist or a
yeah,
whatever, like that kind of thing. But like if you talk about general practitioners, they're kind of doctors, right? That's just a GP, whatever.
yeah. So you have, and it's about the goals they reach. So you have a friend of mine. He's I don't know the English word, but he specializes in children diseases, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he works in a hospital at
I think
the
that's a
intensive care.
pediatrician here in English.
Pediatrician.
Like yeah,
That's
something
yeah,
like
I
that.
think. But I have no idea how he does that. I don't think anyone does. Architects, which 3D programs they use to design a building, doesn't matter, right? As long as it's good and it works, and
Yeah, is that
on and so on and so on. So
the kind of industry discussions where I'll only use agencies that use Ahrefs or SEMrush or Systrix or whatever. Like that'd be mad to choose somebody based on like you said, the way that they do it. And I guess that conversation you have with clients, your strategy, your methodology, the way we're talking now is not necessarily the way I like to say. You said earlier, I think we're early adopters in general. Hopefully, like we're pretty switched on and aware of what's going on in the industry and stuff. And maybe a lot of people aren't having those kind of conversations yet. Aren't having the kind of they wait until the client freaks out about the clicks dropping from AI overviews and then go, oh shit, yeah, we need to have that conversation rather than preempting them and saying, yeah, we need to reframe this strategy. We need to rethink this strategy. This is what is happening on why we need to have this discussion. I wonder how many, again, to talk bad about the industry in general, how many people are just reactive to the whole thing, right? Rather than being a bit more aware, not even necessarily proactive. You don't want to just make changes on a whim, obviously, but I think there is a sweet spot there. Like we're saying here, the conversations we're having with our clients here at Canada, what you're doing as well. Like there's that kind of, I don't know, smell in the air. The wind is blowing in a certain direction, kind of thing.
yeah, and not everybody is feeling that, and that's okay. Um, I do know that if you say out loud on your website or to your clients or on conferences, stuff like that, okay, we do SEO in a certain way, or we make sure you're visible, or whatever it is you choose, which side you're on. But if you say, okay, we are about being visible and we do it in a modern way, and it's not just about clicks, it's also about visibility, your brand, and stuff like that, then you get clients that like that and who know that this is, well, probably the way it's going to be in the next from the next few years on. The ones that don't know it, they will search for another agency that still says, yeah, we guarantee a number one spot because we have this blog network and yeah. So it's more about I guess right now we feel the wind blowing in a certain direction. We think it is a good way to go with it, to go along with it. And yeah, of course, there are clients that also feel this, and they are the ones that reach out to us. So I said earlier, I had a call with a new client yesterday, and they were exactly like this. They said, yeah, there is this new wind blowing, and we want someone who feels it and who does it in this new
Yeah.
direction, because we want to still be visible in 5 years from now, and not 5 years ago. But yeah, but not everybody is there yet, and that's fine. But the fact that we're discussing this and more people are discussing this in this way, at some point, the consensus will be that this is the way it goes. So yeah, I'm not really worried about that, because you will get the right clients that want that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm fascinated to see kind of the shift we'll see. Maybe we'll put a pin in it now. Like we'll annotate our little podcast release here and think like have a similar conversation a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now. Like you said, what are clients talking about? What are the SEO podcasts and communities and chats and conferences and all that kind of stuff? What are we going to be talking about? Because maybe a few people did predict, AI overviews and all that kind of stuff 5 years ago. But I think we're all worried about the pandemic at that point. Enough businesses were struggling full stop, let alone
we had other
everything else
things
that
to
was
worry
happening.
about.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, not necessarily everyone is so in the digital marketing space. You kind of need to worry about your business as a whole. If you're a client, if you're worried about just surviving to the next year. I know we've had a client who has been hit really badly by the US tariff situation that's happening at the moment, and they're basically reframing their entire business and having a huge, like, fundamental change of like, well, we no longer can do this in a cost effective way. So we need to rethink how we make these products, approach this service, whatever it is. And I think we're kind of going through a similar thing with SEO, right? I think you can't promise the clicks. Like you said, you can't promise the position one stuff. And as I kind of said earlier, position one isn't as valuable anymore because of AI overviews and certain features, right? Promising position one 10 years ago was great. You'd probably get loads of clicks. Promising position one in 2025 or 2026, 27, probably not as interesting and not as going to get you as much visibility or clicks.
No, and clients don't care about clicks, they care about revenue. And clicks were always the means to get that.
Yeah.
But if there are no clicks to be had, so
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Right. Let's get to our recommendations. But before we get to that, I want to hear your Blade Runner story, sir. I'm excited to hear this. I didn't forget, don't worry.
So yeah, I started in SEO around 2003, somewhere. I think it was 2004 that I started at a company that I really learned how to do it. But before that, I was a student. I studied history in Nijmegen. And if you study history, it's not only about time epochs or something like that. You can also study a certain topic, like gender history or economic history, or well, one topic that I really liked was the way historians research. It's a subset of philosophy. Basically, it's like a military police of science. So, hey, did you do your research right? And so I was nearing the end of my study, and I could also follow courses in other, how do you say that, parts of the university. And at one time, I did a course about postmodern philosophy. And the tutor, the way she designed the course was by looking at science fiction movies and then discuss postmodern philosophy with the movie as the way, well, the story basically. And so we did look at Blade Runner a lot because it's a really philosophical movie. And there are many layers in it, and it's really interesting. And I still think it's the GOAT, to be honest. But our thesis, we were not allowed to write our thesis in Word, but we had to write it in hypertext. So we had a course of HTML. So you have these history and philosophy students who know nothing about technology. I really knew nothing about computers at all. I knew Word, that was it. And we had to build a website all of a sudden. And I did my thesis, by the way, about the Borg of Star Trek. But
Nice.
I said they should be in the course. That was my thesis. But I really liked that the tinkering with the website and the way the associative way links work and stuff like that. So it was storytelling in a whole different way, and that really tickled me. And so I spent a lot of time with that course. I spent a lot of time with building that website. And when the course was finished, I still spent a lot of time with that. So much time that at some point I said to myself, okay, I have to quit doing this now, or I have to quit my study. And I decided the latter. So I quit my study and said, I'm going on the internet. But I did have a history background. So I had a few friends that studied IT, and I learned a few things from them. And I was looking for jobs, and I decided, yeah, I don't want to be a programmer or a web developer, because I also want to think about the architecture of the site and the way it is organized and stuff like that, the more philosophical side of it, basically. And at some point I saw an advert for an SEO consultant far away, but I saw that text and I was like, yeah, this is it. This is what I want to do. So yeah, that's how it got rolling. And yeah, so Blade Runner was the main movie of that course. And so it had a role in me going into SEO.
Nice.
Associative
I love that.
nature. Yeah. My thesis, by the way, was about archives and how to use a tagging system to make medieval pieces in the archive better findable.
Oh, wow. Hey, findability, discoverability.
Exactly.
There you go. You're doing it even before SEO, mate.
Yeah. Findability.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love Blade Runner has been a huge influence on me as well. And we've covered it on my film podcast a couple of times as well, talking about various different things. And I don't know if you know, two of my all-time favorite films came out on the same day. Do you know this little piece of trivia? Because I think we talked about it on BS time very briefly, didn't we? Blade Runner and The Thing both came out on the 25th of June, 1982. And that is, if that isn't like my perfect double bill, I don't know what is. I absolutely love both of those movies. And yeah, both have been, from a philosophical standpoint, I mean, Blade Runner is probably a big part of why I ended up doing a physics degree. Like being into science fiction as a kid led me into science, and then now into more, in a roundabout way, digital marketing and tech stuff, I guess, in a way. Like hearing Roy Batty talk about, glistening beams off the Tannhauser Gate and all that kind of stuff, and having just the hint of the world building of the space colonies in Blade Runner and all that kind of stuff, but never seeing any of it and just leaving it open to interpretation, I always found so fascinating and so interesting. And that's, I guess, big part of why I'm such a research nerd as well. When I will get into something and look into all the like tiny little nooks and crannies and get into the lore and the world building and all that kind of stuff, whether it's, having a guest on the podcast or whether it's doing a fiction piece of writing or whatever it is, I always dive around. And I think that's Blade Runner's probably a bigger influence on me than I probably give it credit a lot of the time.
Yeah, it was a big one. I would say there's a lot of one scene, for example, is when Deckard is doing his research. He has a picture, a two-dimensional picture, and he puts it into a machine and he talks to the machine and says, "Okay, now zoom in." And now zoom in further, zoom in further, zoom in further. And that's not even possible because that information is not in that picture. But it still finds it somewhere. But at some point, it goes even farther. He says, okay, there is a wall over there. Go around that wall and look behind it.
Yeah.
That's not possible. But yeah, in science fiction, it's possible, of course.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But
cool.
Yeah.
Let's get to your recommendations then, sir. What is one actionable thing you can recommend to the viewers and listeners to start doing right now?
I have two. Is that okay?
Cool. Yeah, that's absolutely allowed. Go for it. Absolutely.
Okay. The first thing is more related to the stuff that we talked about. So, find the value in impressions. Go look for it. Find it. Show it. That's it. That's the first one.
Nice and easy, right? Yeah.
The second one is, and I totally agree with Nick Leroy about this. He said we need to unnerd SEO at some point. He said
Yes.
this. I would say, and we can stay in the sci-fi movie theme. At some point, our heroes are at the planet of the ones that destroyed the Earth, and they are there to basically line up in a queue and say, "Hey, we don't want this." But the way when they walk there, they are in this field, and someone at some point says, "Oh, I have an idea," and then a fly thing comes out of the ground and hits them in the face. You're not allowed to have ideas in government. That is something you should ask ChatGPT to create that for you every time you say canonical or no index or redirect to a client. So that.
Come up
And
and
maybe
give you
a
a quick slap in
Cursor
the
or
face.
Windsurf or ChatGPT can build it for you. You should.
We have the things where it's like replace every image with a cat meme or something like that, right? We should be able to, like, if you're using like meeting recording software, and then all people, again, something Nick Leroy recommended on the podcast already, transcriptions of your meetings and all that kind of stuff. So every time you mention canonical, you can tag a few words and make sure, and then you're aware of all the jargon and bollocks you're saying on your client.
The same with it depends.
Hey,
That's another term.
We've turned that into a bit of a drinking game on the show, unofficially. I was like, how long can each guest go without saying either AI or it depends? I was like, try and go as long as we can.
Yeah. If it's not possible with ChatGPT to make this thing that slaps you in the face, just donate €5 to a good cause or something. Yeah.
There we go.
That's fine too.
That's a good way to do it. Is there any particular piece of software or tool? I think you might have hinted at it earlier on, funnily enough, that you're using that you think deserves more attention.
Yeah, Mistral. At some time ago, I was looking into ways to find more European alternatives for software that we use day in and day out. And I was looking at Mistral, and I was pleasantly surprised by it in multiple ways. And it is now my default LLM. I use it, well, like I said, I use it mostly for coding, but it integrates pretty nicely. Not everywhere, not in Windsurf, I think. I'm not so sure, not in JetBrains. Well, you have to look it up. It is possible. It has an API, it has a chat interface. It's cheaper than OpenAI's offerings. It has this research mode. It can do stuff with images. Not so good as ChatGPT, by the way. ChatGPT is a little bit better than Mistral in this regard. But it is also getting better and better and better, and cheaper, and GDPR compliant.
Aha, there we go.
Yeah, I think you should try it.
Definitely, I'm going to go and try it out. I've not really paid for or committed or signed allegiance to any particular LLM so far.
Try it.
And I'm hesitant to do it to companies like OpenAI, man. I don't want to fund huge mega corporations and stuff.
Yeah.
Again, Blade Runner. I don't want to fund the Tyrell Corporation in the same way. I want to be the little guy. I want to support the underdog. So I'll definitely put a link for Mistral in the show notes and video description.
It's aptly named Le Chat. It's French.
There we go. Appropriately European.
Yeah.
And last but not least, recommend a video, a book, a podcast, anything you want, film, whatever you want to recommend. Doesn't have to be SEO related, just a bit of fun.
Okay. Well, I do like self-help sing on YouTube. It is a meme. It's this Indian guy who gives tips about how to live your life, and he says things like "fuck your job," things like that. It's really funny. And films. Oh, well, I think that's food for another podcast. So many.
Absolutely. Yeah, like I said, I'll put links for everything in the show notes, folks, if you want to go and check out Mistral, self-help sing, check out Ramon directly and check out all that stuff. All the links will be down below. Ramon, if people want to follow you, where are the best places to follow you and keep up with all the cool things you're doing in SEO? I'm sorry, discoverability and findability.
Discoverability and findability, yeah. LinkedIn, mostly. that's my main hangout. Yeah. Yeah, and I have a site, but if I post something, I'll post it on LinkedIn anyway. So yeah.
LinkedIn is the hub for all the information, right? It
Yeah,
certainly
yeah, yeah.
seems that way at the
That's where
moment.
it's collected, and it's for the branded searches and the
There
navigational
you go.
searches. Yeah,
Exactly. Exactly. Well, thank you so much for joining me, mate. It's been a pleasure to get
yeah,
in depth and have a long conversation with you. We will catch up later this evening, I'm sure,
yeah,
in a group format. But it's lovely to have a one-on-one conversation properly. And like I said, listeners, go and follow Ramon. Go and check out what he's doing, discussing discoverability, findability, all the fun things in search marketing that's happening
yeah,
at the moment.
yeah. About the impressions, the value of impressions is things. Yeah, I talk about that quite a lot, but also mostly technical things. Like I'm a data nerd, so scripts and stuff like that.
Awesome. Well, look forward to that, folks. And thank you so much for joining me, man. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, pleasure.
And that wraps up this week's episode. Thank you so much for watching and listening. A huge thank you to Ramon for joining me. And yeah, I thought it was a really interesting conversation. Like I said at the start of the show, if you have stuck around right until the end here, please let me know what you think we should be calling SEO these days. Does it need a rebrand? Does SEO still apply? Should we be calling it AIEO or AEO or GEO or any of those other things? Or discoverability, findability, something else? Let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to get an idea of how you guys are feeling working in the SEO industry and working in this digital marketing realm. Do we need a rebrand? Do we need to rethink about this and restructure what we call ourselves? In the meantime, of course, please do leave comments down below, either on YouTube or on Spotify. Always appreciate either one. And I've got some fantastic guests coming up. I'm going to check again. Let's have a quick look. I've got some fantastic guests coming up over the next few weeks. Next week, I will have Harry Evans, and we're going to talk all about video, and specifically video and social media and how that ties into content strategies in SEO at the moment. And the week after that, towards the end of July, I'll be talking with Salvatore Manzi all about professional communication skills, especially focused on those kind of high-paced, fast-paced, high kind of energy tech teams that we work in SEO. Salvatore's a really interesting guy. We talk about his book and a lot of his theories and communication skills and his coaching and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, video SEO and social media and communication skills for SEO coming up over the next few weeks with Harry Evans and Salvatore Manzi respectively. Of course, Mark Williams Cook will be back in the studio. At time of recording this, I have just recorded an episode, the third episode with Seb Atkinson back in the Canada studio. In fact, I think Seb is the only guest who was recorded with Mark in 2020, then with me, but the audio version in 2023, and then full video in the other Canada studio in 2025. It's a special kind of privilege, I think, that Seb has. Thankfully, Seb is awesome and is local, so it's a great conversation. You'll look forward to that probably in about 4 or 5 weeks after this comes out, to be honest. And I've got plenty of other guests coming up in the not-too-distant future as well. I'm talking with Matt Kalis. I've got Alex Wright coming back on the show, speaking of returning. I've also got Jana van Driel, speaking of fellow Dutchman, Ramon Eijkemans' countryman there. And I've got just some awesome discussions and things like that, all the way leading up to our live podcast. Of course, the crossover with the SEO Mindset coming up in October around Brighton SEO as well. So stay tuned for all of that. Like I said, I'll put links for everything Ramon and I have talked about, all the recommendations, all the tools, all the different bits and pieces. And if you do want to support me in my journey to get healthy and fight someone in a cage for charity, then please do go and check out the Just Giving link in the description as well. In the meantime, thank you so much once again, and I'll see you next week.